Today on MTG Unpacked, I'm going to talk about how I did in the Guilds of Ravnica pre-release last weekend. And as you can see, I picked Dimir, so that's a color combo I'm fairly familiar with. I really enjoy playing those sorts of decks. So let's get started here. I'll go through the cards that I pulled along with the deck itself and talk a little bit about how that worked out and how I did at the various games. So let's get started here. So let me sort this out. I've got a huge pile. We'll cut that about here. Okay, so starting off, I had a couple of Vicious Rumors. So 3 of those. Got the Severed Strands, MYTHIC Vapors. Got a couple of those. Actually 3 of those. Blood Operative, so this is a rare creature vampire assassin 3/1 for 3 mana with lifelink, and when it enters the battlefield you may exile target card from a graveyard. And whenever you surveil, if Blood Operative is in your graveyard, you may pay 3 life. If you do, return Blood Operative to your hand. So actually that's something I could have played, I guess, but that one didn't make the cut. Next up we have Passwall Adept, so we're moving into blue. Disdainful Stroke, Dimir Informant. So not too many there, because a lot of them ended up in the deck itself. For red, I had Ornery Goblin, Sure Strike, Fearless Halberdier, or Halberdier, Street Riot, Command the Storm, Barging Sergeant, Command the Storm. Oh, okay. So I did not sort that very well, so I've got a couple of those. Righteous Blow in white, so a couple of those. Sunhome Stalwart, Skyline Scout, Blade Instructor, Luminous Bonds, Rock Charger, Loxodon Restorer. So that is it for white. We move on to green. Iron Shell Beetle, Devkaran Dissident, Pause for Reflection, Pax Favor, Generous Stray, Wild Ceratok, I think I got a couple, yep, a couple of those guys. Affectionate Indrik. And then we move on to the colourless. I had a Golgari Locket, which was absolutely useless for me, as was a Selesnya Locket, and a Rampaging Monument, and a Gatekeeper Gargoyle. So that is it for the mono-coloured stuff. If we then move on to the multicoloured, so in Dimir, these are the ones I didn't pick for my deck. We have Notion Rain, Discovery and Dispersal, and then onto Boros colours we have Swiftblade Vindicator. That was actually a rare, so that's a double strike vigilance and trample creature human soldier 1/1 for 2 mana. In the Boros colours, Fresh-Faced Recruit, a couple of those guys. Tajik Legion's Edge with haste, so he's a 3/2 human soldier for 3 mana with Mentor. So whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser power. Prevent all non-combat damage. It will be dealt to other creatures you control, and you can pay a Mountain and Plains and give it first strike until end of turn. That probably would have been a good one if I was in Boros. And a Garrison Sergeant, Swathe Cutter Giant, and a Boros Guildgate. Also pretty useless. We move on to Golgari. We had a Pitiless Gorgon, Rhizome Lurcher, and a Golgari Guildgate. So not too much there. And then I think that's it, isn't it? The blue and red. So Sonic Assault, a couple of those guys. Piston Fist Cyclops, Invert and Invent, Conclave Guildmage, and then onto Selesnya we have a Venati Shieldmate, Samala Woodshaper, Rosemane Centaur, got a couple of those guys, Selesnya Guildgate, and finally we have some tokens. So we've got a Rail Emblem, Soldier, Bird Illusion, Elf Knight, another Soldier, and an Insect token. Now the deal with one of the tokens, you will actually get an MTG Arena code thanking you for coming to the pre-release, and you can actually use that to unlock a sealed event entry in Arena. So that is very cool, very happy about that. They're doing a bit more interaction with Arena. Okay, so let's move these guys out of the way. So the deck proper. So I actually went 2-2, so won 2 games and lost 2 games. And the summary there, actually one of the wins, the final win, my opponent dropped. So he actually never turned up. So that was a free win. A little bit disappointing. I was looking forward to playing some more games, but what can you do? So in the first matchup, we had 2 games, played against a black, blue, green deck, lost both of those. Second match, the guy had Golgari. I won game 1, and game 2 was a draw. I think we went into time at that point, so yeah, nobody was really ahead. And then match 3, this guy had green and white. He had convoke abilities. He was making use of that. He had tons of combos with legendary creatures and so on. I think it was Amara, Soul of the Accord. And then he was tapping all of his soldiers and other creatures to cast the bigger and bigger spells. So he had an absolute army. And so I lost game 1 and game 2. Game 2, I think I had him on the ropes, but he actually had a creature with reach. So I had some dragons that I was whacking at him, and unfortunately he was able to take care of that and block some of that damage. So that was a bit disappointing. So I could have got maybe another win or a draw there. So let's get into this deck. I went for 43 cards, so we'll take a look at the mana base. I just couldn't decide, so I went a little bit over. So they usually suggest like 40 cards is the minimum. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4 swamps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 islands. Also had 2 Dimir Guildgates and an Izzet Guildgate. So with these, if you're not aware, they have 5 different guilds, and this one was blue-black, and they give a pre-seeded pack, so you get a lot of blue-black and Dimir cards in that pack, including your promo card, which we'll see in a moment. And you don't have to build the deck in those colors. You can if you want. It's probably easier, but it really depends on what you pull in your booster packs. So I obviously pulled a lot of blue and black, so that was helpful for me, not so much on the other colors. So we'll go through that, sorted by converted mana cost. So I start off with Dead Weight, Whispering Snitch, that guy was pretty funny, Child of Night, Veiled Shade, Moodmark Painter, and here was my promo card. So this is Ritual of Soot. This is a sorcery for 4 mana. Destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less. I don't think this actually worked too often, but it was fun when it did go off. Whacked a lot of other creatures on the other side. Deadly Visit. Thoughtbound Phantasm, so moving on to blue now. Vidalcan Mesmerist, he was pretty good. Disdainful Stroke, and I actually think I used that as well. They had a fairly powerful card they were trying to cast. Unexplained Disappearance, Leapfrog. And this poor guy, I don't think he got flying. He was just a frog for the whole game. But if you can cast those instant or sorcery spells on that turn, you can make him fly. So is that something you have managed to pull off? Leave a note in the comments. Next up we have Dimir Informant, Devious Cover-Up, Watcher in the Mist, and a City Watch Sphinx. I don't know that I ever got this guy out. I think maybe I did, maybe one game. Bit hard to remember that. And then in red I had Electrostatic Field, Rubble Belt Boar, Hellkite Whelp. And from those, I think the reason, what was the reason I did splashed red? I think it was the dragon there. I also had some Izzet colors. We'll get to those shortly. Dimir Spybug, that guy was pretty decent. Mnemonic Betrayal, so this is a mythic! Yes, sorcery for 3 in the Dimir colors. Exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. You may cast those cards this turn, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast those spells. At the beginning of the next end step, if any of those cards remain exiled, return them to their owners' graveyards. And finally, Exile Mnemonic Betrayal. I did actually use this, and that was good. I got one of their fairly beefy creatures in the graveyard, so I was able to use that. That was pretty fun. Darkblade Agent, Artful Takedown, Crackling Drake. So here is another one. And I was greedy, but I often didn't have the mana I needed for this. I had like black or blue, but not enough. Maybe one red, so he was tough to cast. I don't think he ever did anything. I did pull him a couple of times, but wasn't able to cast it. And another rare, Niv Mizzet Paran again. Way too greedy. What was I thinking? Legendary creature, dragon, wizard, 5/5, 4/6 mana. This spell can't be countered. That's what I was hoping for. He has flying whenever you draw a card. Niv Mizzet Paran deals 1 damage to any target. And whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. So that has some good abilities there. But if you don't have the mana, he is pretty useless. And a Dimir Locket and a Rampaging Monument. That was pretty good. Got a couple of counters on him. So that is my deck. Leave a note in the comments how you did it pre-release. I hope you did better than I did. And is there anything you noticed in my pulls here you perhaps would have done differently? I would suggest probably not playing Niv Mizzet and Crackling Drake. I probably would have supplemented that with some other stuff here. So what do we have? Probably some more blue. I may not have even splashed the red after all. It's tough to say. Green I wasn't really that keen on. We had some white, red. Yeah, there was some decent stuff, decent amount of red. Maybe would have put a couple of these other creatures doing the Surveil, counter target spell. Some of the black looked good. The Blood Operative probably would have been a good one to put in there. So yeah, we had, what was it, 50 minutes or nearly an hour to put the deck together. And as usual, I was pretty much frantically organizing things till the last 5 minutes. Then I sleeved up my cards and got all done in the nick of time. But probably could have done a little better. But that was my pre-release, and stay tuned over the next week. We will have a few more pre-release boxes we'll be taking a look at, and hopefully we'll get some cool pulls from those. Not sure if I'll have any deck techs or anything, but we'll see how we go with that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more Magic the Gathering unboxings. And be sure to tap the notification bell to be notified as soon as new videos are released. And we had the 2,000 subscriber celebration live stream yesterday. I hope you were able to pick that up. But if not, that's still recorded on YouTube. You can go back, check that out. We did a one of everything, so I picked up a bunch of packs from my LGS. Got a pretty crazy pull near the end there. Lots of fun times there. Previews of upcoming content on the channel, as well as a bunch of Q&A and a little tip about a upcoming giveaway you'll want to stay tuned for. So if you have not seen that, go back, check it out. Thanks for watching and have a great day.